and welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Jessica, and it's another summer book club episode, and today we're talking on Chapter 3 about friendship from the Handbook of Catholic Moms. As you may know, if you've been watching these other episodes on the summer book club, a number of YouTubers are all going to do individual episodes on the same chapter of this book that we release at the same time. So if after watching this episode you go down below, you can find links to other people's episodes where they talk about their own personal take on the same chapter. Now this chapter is on friendship. This is entitled Soul Sisters. I happen to have one sister. She lives in Florida. She calls me for largely two things. One, she wants to know where our mother is. Our mother lives in the next county over from me. It's not like we're next door neighbors. I can look out the window. But, she calls me up, where's Mom? I'm like, I don't know. Is she grocery shopping? Today she goes grocery shopping usually. The other thing she calls me about, number two, is when she doesn't want to Google something. One, because we largely talk to each other in obscure quotes from the 80s and 90s. And so she can go and talk about some random thing, and I'd be like, oh yeah, this and this and that about the thing. And her husband is completely confused, which, although it's early in the episode, it's going to be my comment for today. Comment below if you remember the TV show, My Secret Identity. It was put out in the late 80s. It was from the Canadian Broadcast Company. It starred a person who became a known celebrity, so it's not like it was completely obscure. But every single person I talked to about this show, except for my sister, does not remember it. It is probably the reason why there's a hole in the ozone, because he had the superpower of floating but not flight, so he had to use constant streams of hairspray for propulsion. If, for example, you don't remember that show, but you know some other show that you have the same problem, where you and your friend or your sister or some cousin remembers the show and everyone looks at you like, are you making this show up? This does not seem like a real show. Comment with what that show is. Because in all probability, she'll call me up instead of Googling it, and I'll need to know that information someday. Along with, talking about actual biological sisters, it talks about friends. And it gives many ways that you can make friends. Like in your church. Different things in your community, like libraries, zoos, your children's school, volunteering, neighbors. All many great ideas that if you happen to be an extrovert will work great for finding friends. Now, if you're an introvert, you look at that and you go, I'm not going to find any friends. I'm just going to stand in the corner and be completely, useless in finding friends in this. I understand. Clearly this person is an extrovert because I find friends through many other means, like my best friend in elementary school, who sat next to me on the first day of kindergarten, my best friend in high school, who sat next to me in our first hour science class, or my current best friend, who happens to be married to one of my husband's friends, who I met when we were helping another one of my husband's friends move out of his apartment to a different place. Because that is how introverts become friends. We aren't going to go out and start, doing stuff and meeting people all of a sudden. So, along with giving advice for how you can make friends that is most helpful for if you're extroverted and if you aren't just going to go to the zoo and quietly look by yourself, and if someone says hi, awkwardly say hi back and then do nothing, it does have homework, which includes things you can do if you already have a friend. Like making time to call or write your friends. Spend time in prayer, praying for your friends. Invite your friends for a cup of coffee. Say hello to somebody you don't know, which I know it's a bit on the edge for introverts, but it can be done. So, in closing, Chapter 3 is about friends. You can go down below and see other people's thoughts about friends. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel to see the rest of the episodes on this book. Hit the bell so you're notified. And once again, if anyone out there actually remembers the show My Secret Identity, please let me know. If you have some other equally obscure show that should not be obscure at all because it was like a nationally known show, actually Technically, it was probably international, as this show was from Canada, and we live in America. But, in Michigan, we get Canadian channels, so it could be that we watched it from Canada. Let me know this show, because my sister will call instead of Google, because it uses up her data versus calling me, and want to know about these obscure things. And until next time, live your faith, love your faith, share that love.